This is your boy, Chris Caliente, and today I'm going to be taking out my Honda Gold Wing, meeting up with a friend or two, and basically we're going to just put the bikes out on the road, try to stretch them out a little bit. My friends are riding Honda VTXs 1800, and their bikes have been sitting in the house all winter long. But as for me, as I said in my earlier videos, I ride nearly every day. But anyway, so we're meeting up, and they want to stretch their bikes out, kind of get them rolling a little bit. And I'm going to ride in the back, go ahead and let them guys get up front, and we'll stretch it on out a little bit on the highway. The current temperature outside is around about 40 degrees, so it's still pretty chilly, especially when you factor in the air temperature. So we're going to try to enjoy the ride. Nothing like a good ride with a couple of friends out on the highway. As I said in my earlier video, I finally figured out the settings for my GoPro, and believe me, it was quite a challenge. As you can see here in this particular video, the camera angle is kind of sitting right in the center. Now, when I first bought my GoPro, I initially mounted it on the side of my helmet. And when I did that, half of the helmet would be in the camera shot. So I decided to mount it on the top of my helmet. The only problem with that is so much wind was coming across the top of my helmet that I'll end up filming the sky, which was another problem. So I got smart and bought a chest mount. Well, the chest mount works great, but when I mount it on my chest, the GoPro sits so low that you actually see kind of where the keys are, or my speedometer. Basically, it was just sitting too low. So I finally set out to buy a modular helmet because I figured the best way to mount my GoPro for my bike would be a modular helmet mounted right under my chin or right on the chin bar. A lot of guys out there, they don't have this problem because they could just mount their camera on the chest mount and it sees over the bike real good. But on my Gold Wing, with all of this accessories in the way, it was hard to get a good view of the in front of the bike with the GoPro mounted on my chest. So I just decided to go ahead and mount it on my chin bar of my my helmet. The helmet that I'm wearing is a HJC modular helmet, and the problem that I initially had with finding a helmet is that most modular helmets or a full face helmet is kind of egg shaped on the front, and it's very hard to kind of get a good mount on the front of the helmet. So I looked around and found the HJC, and it kind of had a flat area just on the front that was perfect for my GoPro mount. So I end up buying the helmet, and as you can see in the video, it's pretty much sitting where you can see all of the bike. And it's kind of a load off my shoulder because it took a while to find the right helmet. So, but yeah, we're just out here on Interstate I-40 enjoying the ride. I had to edit the video for the sake of time because the trip actually taken us several hours. So I edited it down where it wouldn't use up most of the video. As a matter of fact, while I'm in this area, I'm going to stop at the Honda dealer to basically find out how much will they charge me to service my bike. Now I can service it myself, but since my bike is under warranty, I think it behooves me to allow them to do it at least until my warranty is up, and then I can start servicing the bike myself. And that's one of the things you need to consider when you buy a motorcycle. You need to consider running proper maintenance. I know a lot of guys out there that's riding around on Maypop tires, and I know you're wondering what are Maypop tires. Well, Maypop tires may pop at any time. The last thing you want to do is be out on your motorcycle with some slicks on your bike. You want to run the proper maintenance before you take a trip. Check your oil. If your bike is water cooled, check your antifreeze, check your brake fluid, check your clutch fluid. If you have a chain, make sure your chain is oiled. On my bike, it's shaft driven, so I don't have that problem. But there is shaft oil that must be added every so often. You want to make sure that you plan a route with plenty of gas stations, because the last thing you want to do is run out of fuel on a motorcycle. So yeah, just enjoy your bike, man. It's a lot of little things you can do to make your bike experience wonderful. It's a lot of guys out there that just ride around. They don't run maintenance. I remember riding out with some guys one day, and we happened to stop at the gas station because one of my friend's tires was low, and when he went to put air in his tires were slick. And I thought to myself, man, we're a long way from home to have a flat. So just make sure that when you're out here make sure that you run good maintenance on your bike. Make sure you plan a route with plenty of gas stations, and if you can, carry a spare gas can, a small gas can, if you have the room on your bike, if you're going to be taking a long trip, because like I said, the last thing you want to do is run out of fuel, especially in the wintertime. Man, it is cold out here to be out on a motorcycle. But if you're wearing the proper gear, it's not bad at all. So that's just something to think about if you're going to get out here and ride your motorcycle, especially in the wintertime. The last thing you want to do is get stranded. So I try to run proper maintenance on my bike, as well as my automobiles. I don't like being broke down on the side of the road. As a matter of fact, I can't even remember the last time my vehicle broke down on the side of the road. I'm a very big stickler on maintenance. So run your maintenance, guys. Check your lights, check your headlights, your turn signals. Check your brakes, your brake calipers, and all of your fluids, your tire pressure. you know. And it's things like that, man. When you do the small things like that, when it's time to ride, you can just hop on your bike and go. And that's one of the biggest things for me. I don't have time to be um, doing a walk around every day. Um, Basically, when I need to get on my bike, I'm gonna take off. As long as I know I got air in my tires, I'm good because I stay up on my maintenance. So stay up on your maintenance, guys. Don't be a cheapskate. And for some of you guys, man, don't fall into this trap about who has the best bike, who has the bigger bike. Um, it really doesn't matter, man. You can ride a Chinese scooter and be happy. It doesn't matter if you're riding a Harley or a Honda or a Suzuki or Kawasaki. Man, just get out there and ride and have fun. It don't really matter. So guys, don't fall into that trap about who has the bigger bikes. I'm riding with two friends of mine. They both have Honda VTXs, and I'm riding in the back. A lot of times they want me to lead out, but hey, man, I don't have to lead. In order to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. You know, um, I can ride in the back. I don't have to ride up front. Um, so guys, yeah, don't fall into this trap about who has the better bike. So, do your homework. Don't just go out and buy any kind of bike. Do your homework. Buy the bike that's gonna work for you. Um, there's so many types of bikes out there. So you just have to find the one that's gonna fit you comfortably. And if you do that, you're not gonna have a problem, man. You should be happy with your purchase. And when you make that purchase, buy some insurance, man. Don't ride around on a bike with no insurance. Because these guys out here, man, will rob you blind. You know, um, they'll steal your bike, man, if they can. Make sure that when you park your bike, try to park it near a window where you can kind of watch it, keep an eye on it, and lock your handlebars, so if they try to push it off, um, it'll just push around in a circle. But if your bike is real light, they could just pick it up and throw it in a van or something. So, be mindful of that. So try to park your bike um, where you can kind of keep an eye on it. Yeah, these bikes are so expensive, man. Just unbelievable. For the price of my Gold Wing, I could have actually bought a car. Um, when I was talking to the salesman and he was trying to tell me all of the good things about the bike, which I had already did my homework anyway. Um, I love the Gold Wing. The only problem I had with motorcycles in general was just the price are so expensive. That's the reason why you got to take good care of these bikes. Um, my argument to the salesman was, how is it that I could buy a car with four wheels, a front seat, a back seat, air conditioning, windshield wipers, a trunk, a large fuel tank, heat, um, so much more. Four calipers, four tires, ABS, brakes, um, a hood. You get so much more with a car. Even the amount of area that has to be painted, you get more metal. So how is it that a car which has all of those things I just named costs the same price as a motorcycle that only has two wheels, two tires, a little bitty seat, no windshield wipers, no air conditioning? You get my point. So how could a Gold Wing cost 25,000 and a car cost 25,000? So it's my personal opinion that a lot of these motorcycles are overpriced, especially a Harley. Man, if you go into any Harley dealership to find out what those motorcycles cost, man, they want an arm and a leg. And a lot of guys don't have a problem paying it. Um, I owned a Harley, but I personally think Harleys are just way overpriced. Um, you can almost buy two cars for one price of a Harley. Um, but it is a toy. At least for me, it's a toy. Um, so for the amount of money that I paid for my Gold Wing, I could have bought a car. And that's one of the reasons why I ride every day. I did not spend that kind of money on a motorcycle just to let it sit up and ride it, um, you know, 3 or 4 months out the year, or 6 months out the year, or whatever. Um, I spent that kind of money on a ride, and I also invested in some good gear that allows me to ride all year round. That's another thing you have to consider. This is something that I just like to do in my spare time, is just ride my Gold Wing. I'm probably 100 miles out from my destination, maybe a little bit less, and the sun is starting to set. So it will probably be dark when I get to where I need to be getting, or where I'm going rather. So yeah, I'm just moving along out here on the interstate, just riding, hanging out with a couple of friends. Um, as I said earlier, they just stretching their bikes out because their bike's been sitting all year winter long. Um, they asked me how do I winterize my Gold Wing, and I said I just ride it, so I don't have to worry about winterizing it. Um, so I just try to ride it every chance I get. For much money that I paid for this Gold Wing, I'm gonna ride it until the wheels fall off. So hopefully this summer when it warms up, I can get even more riding in. Um, maybe even bike week or Sturgis. Who knows, man? The sky's the limit. I even thought about buying a trailer for my bike to haul some of my things. Um, so the jury is still out on that. But that's one thing that I plan to do later, to just make my ride a little bit more comfortable. I'm all about comfort. Whether I'm riding in a car, on a plane, on a bike, riding a boat, riding a goat, it don't matter. I want to make sure that I'm comfortable, especially when you out here with these big trucks. Like this big truck that's on the side of me. When that thing come past you, man, and blow all of that wind on you, and if you're on a small bike, you know, that wind get up under your bike and just pushes it around. Um, that's one of the reasons why I wanted a heavy bike. My Gold Wing weighs about 933 pounds. Oh, it's a heavy bike now. It is a heavy bike. Heated seats, heated grips, foot warmers, AM FM stereo. It has cruise control. It has reverse. It has CB, radio, weather band, iPod connectivity. Um, Now, as you can see, I mounted a GPS on my windshield. Um, I didn't want to pay an extra $3,000 just to have a factory GPS. And so I mounted my own GPS on the windshield, which was a plus. Um, but other than airbags, I mean, she's loaded. And so we stopped here to get some fuel, and we fueled up, and we're gonna go ahead and try to get up the road because it will be getting dark soon. And like I was saying earlier, I'm putting those guys on the front. I don't have to be in the front. It's not about me. And we'll switch it around. Some days I'll ride in the front, and some days I'll ride in the middle. Um, and like today, I'll ride in the back. So it's not about who has the bigger bike and who, it's not about that, man. It's about getting out here with some of your friends and enjoying the camaraderie of riding a motorcycle. And my biggest thing is, just be safe. Just do it safe. That's my thing. You got these trucks out here. You got cars cutting out in the front of you, and you know, and sometimes it seems like the faster you ride, the faster people comes up behind you. As if they want to see what you're riding. So if you're running 70, they run at 75. If you push it up to 80, they'll run 85. So the faster you go, the faster they go. So a lot of times what I'll do, I'll just change lanes. So either you want to pass me or you want to race me. And I don't want to race you, you know. I'll change lanes and just let you by. If you want to get by, be my guest. Everybody's trying to get to where they're going. So I hope they make it to their destination. But as you can see here, it's getting dark out, and the temperature has really dropped. Um, it is cold out, and running 65 miles an hour or so, man, that air is really cool. But you know what? On the Gold Wing, it's all worth it. Just put on the right gear. I cannot overemphasize that. Put on the right gear. It's just so uncomfortable to get caught out here. I see guys riding around with t-shirts and tennis shoes, and some people call them squids. And it'll be nice and sunny out, and later that day the temperature will start, dropping, and those guys will be out having a good time, doing whatever they do. And the next thing you know, the temperature drops, and then you get caught out here um, without the right gear on, and you can turn around and get pneumonia or something, because you didn't put on the right gear. On my bike, I carry at least 3 pairs of gloves, 3 pairs of different gloves. I carry 2 different jackets. I just kind of dress because sometimes the weather, especially in Memphis, man, the weather will change on you in a heartbeat. It may be hot during the day, and then the next thing you know, it's cool in the night. I mean, you never know. And the weatherman, a lots of times, um, they don't know what they're talking about. You know, take today for example. They predicted um, 55 degrees as a high, uh, but then they turned around a few hours later and said that the high was going to be 49. So, you know, the weathermen are just trying to predict the weather. They don't know what it's going to do. Sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're wrong. So, take that into account when you get out here on this bike and you're in the elements. Make sure you got some backup, man. As you can see, it's getting dark out here. The temperature is dropping, but for me, I'm fine. I'm wearing a Tourmaster Centurion one-piece full body suit. I'm wearing some Ruka Imatra Gore-Tex gloves, uh, big leather boots, freeze out, uh, base layer, a balaclava to cover my head. You know, I'm warm. Plus, my bike has heated seats and heated grips, so that's a plus. But that's all I have for you guys, man. Y'all stay safe, man, out here on the streets, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. See ya.